Gamescom ended just a couple hours ago, and in between the hundreds of games featured, I managed to find a bunch of hidden gems that deserve some more attention. But make sure to stay tuned until the end because I've added bonus games which are still gems, just not as hidden. So let's start with Seafarer the Ship Sim. This is a simulator where you need to take care of a ship and you can choose between your different jobs on it. But that's not all, you can also have a fleet of multiple ships and do all sorts of crazy stuff with it. I feel like this has a lot of potential and it releases pretty soon in just a couple months on October 7th. But just so you know, this will come in early access. For me, that's a good thing. It means it's gonna have a lot more updates as we go along. Other people don't really like playing early access, so just read the page before buying it. It also has full controller support, which is amazing. I love when a simulator, especially a simulator, has that. It just makes it more tactile and feels a lot better. Now the next game is a bit different. I'm talking about Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. If you don't know the Lego Batman games, they are amazing, as all the Lego games, by the way, at least in my opinion. This one doesn't have a release date yet, it just says coming soon, but as a matter of fact I'm adding it to my wishlist right now. Also, at the time of filming this, for whatever reason, Lego has a franchise sale of up to 90% off, so I think I might buy some things today. But if you enjoyed any previous Lego game or the Batman Arkham series, or even better if you enjoyed both of those, then this is the game for you. This might weirdly be the one I'm the most excited about, but it might have a competitor because this is Save Birmingham. This doesn't have a date yet and it will release in early access sometime soon. This is a zombie game. However, it looks like it's trying to do things a little bit different, which I really appreciate, and it has all of these survival elements. You've got hunger, you've got sanity, I think, and thirst, health, all of that. But here's the cool thing that not a lot of games do. This is set in the medieval times. I'm really curious to see how this plays out, and I just hope they do it right. Now let's talk about a game that just released last week. This is the Rogue Prince of Persia, and yes, it's another 2D Prince of Persia game. If you like them, then this is for you. If you don't like them, don't expect anything different. But I love the Prince of Persia series because this is the one that Assassin's Creed spun off from. I love Assassin's Creed. We've talked about this in the past, but anyway, this game is out right now. You can play it today, but this game is what I think about when I think hidden gems. Now let's take a look at Global Rescue. This looks like one of those city builder / management games, but it's all about having the emergency response teams, like the firefighting, the police, the SWAT team. And the cool thing about this is I think you can choose your city around the world, at least that's what it says in the description. And it's also coming soon, we don't have a date. So I wouldn't hold my breath for this one, it might be a while until it releases. I don't usually play this type of game, but this one got me excited. I don't know what it has about it, it's just that little thing that makes you want to play it. Nice Day for Fishing, this is another game that's already out. It released a couple months ago in May, and this one is actually an RPG. I don't know how we got this far into the video without having an RPG, but for all of you that have been waiting for it, here it is. And after reading through all the things like the gear and the collection, I still love just this little description here. Battle fish with precision timing and magic spells. Upgrade your abilities, defeat evil and rebuild Honeywood. On that description alone, I'm sold. Have you ever thought, I would like to battle some fish with some magic spells? Well, now you can do it. It's all here in Nice Day for Fishing. And bonus points if you know people at Dirt League. I used to watch their videos a while ago and now they have this game. That's amazing. So I'm really happy for them. Let's move over to the next one, which is Possible One Lunar Industries. This is set to release spring next year, and it calls itself the first realistic lunar colony management RTS. Again, I don't really play RTS games, that's real-time strategy, but that being said, this game looks interesting enough that I might actually give it a go, and I think there's a lot of people like me that don't usually play these types of games, but when a really cool one shows up, you might just get into it and try it a little bit. The next one actually has a demo that is out and you can play it right now. I'm talking about Military Logistics Simulator. I so love these games. It doesn't have a release date yet, but you can download the demo right now, which I'm gonna do. I'm just installing it literally on the spot while filming this. This is just right up my alley and some of you must feel the same. Now, Valor Mortis is a game that made a bigger splash. I've heard more people talk about it, but I think it still flew under the radar for what it actually is. This comes from the creators of Ghost Runner. Yes, that Ghost Runner. And get this, it's an action Souls-like. Okay, we've got hundreds of those, but it's in first person. Yes, it's a first person Souls-like. From the creators of Ghost Runner. So we know they can do first person action very good. It does have all the typical Souls-like things in it, But the thing that most people will probably find interesting about this is the fact that it's in first person. I think that's what sets it apart from all other Souls-likes, to be honest. But the setting is also pretty good. You were a soldier in Napoleon's army, but now you're back from the dead and you have some supernatural powers. I don't know how they thought about that premise, but I'm glad they did. Okay, now that we rose from the dead in Napoleon's army, let's go get a drink. This is another pint, and it's exactly what it sounds like. No, it's not a drinking game, why would you think that? It's a dynamic management game where you get to build and run your own medieval tavern. At least that's what the description says, right there. But this is pretty ambitious. It actually takes into account your choices and what you do, what you change, and that will have an effect on what happens next in the game. So if that's what you're into, Another Pint is a great game to try soon. Okay, I got it, you don't like management games, but what about a hack and slash? Everybody loves a hack and slash, right? This is Gods, Death and Reapers, and if that title doesn't make you wanna play it, nothing will. You can play this PvPvE or even co-op. There's also a story mode, and I'm really interested in the hack and slash gameplay. We didn't get to see a lot of gameplay. I wish we could see a bit more, but I'm really excited for this. I can't wait for the next trailer, but there's also a playtest ongoing right now, so if you want to, you can request access into that too. And I just love the title, Gods, Death and Reapers. That would be like a Metallica cover in the 2000s. Speaking about titles that could be metal albums, this is Better Than Dead. This is a first-person, ultra-realistic shooter. It's actually a body cam style FPS, and it's set in Hong Kong. It looks like there's a hostage situation and you have to figure it out. But the thing that makes it feel a little bit unreal is the physics of all the objects around the room that just go everywhere when you shoot. Papers fly up, objects fall from tables. I don't know how people's computers will hold up during all of that gameplay, but I'm willing to try, so bring it on. This one is also coming soon, so it might take a while. Life Below is another one that has a demo. I'm actually gonna download it right now. And if at first this gives you Subnautica vibes, just know that's not it. It's not Subnautica, it's not a Subnautica ripoff, anything like that. And you would never guess the genre of the game if not for the trailers. This is a city building game under the ocean, but it's not really a city like buildings and stuff. It's actually a natural environment building city type thing, and you're trying to revive the ocean type of stuff. But I do appreciate the humor of making the trailer start with something that's extremely similar to Subnautica's Shallows, like where you start the game and then it just goes down and it's a city builder. I think that's absolutely amazing, and I love the message it's trying to send about saving the ocean and all of that stuff. So if you want to, you can play the demo right now. From city building under the sea, now let's move over to a national park where you can play as a park ranger. Yes, this is Park Ranger Simulator. A lot of simulators this year, but I absolutely love it. Here you do exactly what a park ranger does. You have to take care of your park, and even better, you can play it multiplayer. And I haven't played this game yet. It does have a demo, which I'm downloading right now. Its planned release date is this year, so at most you'll only have to wait a couple months for it. Now what about Phantom Blade Zero? This one just had a 1-hour demo, and we've seen some pretty cool gameplay, to be honest. This game is all about the Chinese culture and it focuses on Kung Fu, so the combat is definitely what makes this game stand out to me. It also has a story about you being an assassin that's framed for murder and you need to find a cure before you die. That's all secondary to the amazing gameplay. I hope it feels as good as it looks, because it looks amazing. Now finally we have another one with an actual release date. Where Winds Meet releases November 14th this year. And this is an RPG set in ancient China. Not that long ago we talked about Wuchen Fallen Feathers, and then before that we had Black Myth Wukong. A lot of amazing games are coming out of China, and most of them are focused on Chinese mythology. So having these games with some fresh new old stories from China and amazing gameplay, I think they have a lot of potential. And this game releases in just a couple months, November 14th. So if you're looking for your next big RPG to play, this might be it. Another one that releases really soon is Cronos: The New Dawn. This will come out September 5th, so that's in less than 2 weeks from now. And I think this is the first survival horror game on this list. I have no clue why on my Steam page it says it's similar to Subnautica. None of this looks similar to Subnautica, so I think this might be the first time that Steam is actually wrong. And I just love some of their taglines: survive the future, salvage the past. And apparently you have a soul harvester, so you can harvest the souls of people from the past. This game sounds wild. I have no clue how they did it, but it looks like Kojima had a hand in it. I don't think he did, but it just looks like it. Everybody hates bureaucracy, right? But what about bureaucracy in hell? Yes, that's right. You can now play Sintopia and be part of the administration of hell, where you have to punish the dead souls for their sin and generate a profit. How and why this game exists, I have no clue. But it does have a demo that's out right now, so you can play it if you want to, and it will release in early access September 4th. From Sintopia, now let's move over to a Utopia. And yes, I just wanted to make that joke. This is Interstellar Utopia, and it's an MMORPG. I have no clue why it looks like No Man's Sky, but dark and disturbed. But it does. That's what it looks like. You can't tell me you're not seeing it. Okay, I can't be the only one that thinks this is No Man's Sky, dark and disturbed. But it says it will have 5 star systems, so that's pretty ambitious. And you can also just fly from planet to planet and do all of those things. The rest is pretty normal. You've got your suits, you've got your vehicles, your crafting, your building, and you also put your points into different skill trees to advance your character. Now this next one got me really excited. Yes, it's Little Nightmares 3, we are finally getting it. I enjoyed the first game a lot, but I never got to play the second one. However, they did change developers. The people that did Little Nightmares 3 are not the same people that did 1 and 2, and that might be why it looks a little bit different in the trailers. However, I like the vibe they are creating here, and you can still feel that it's a game from the same series. It just has a different spin on it. It looks a little bit newer, more polished. You can also play it co-op, just like Little Nightmares 2, and this is coming October 10th, so that's 6 weeks away. Get ready to have some Little Nightmares. I'm sure nobody laughed at that joke, but I still did it. If you didn't laugh at that joke, please leave a like on this video, and if you did laugh at this joke, please leave a like on this video. Yes. Now let's move over to Exoborne. Exoborne is a tactical extraction shooter, and it brings exactly what you'd expect from an extraction shooter. It doesn't have a planned release date yet, but from the gameplay we've seen, I think that the movement has the most potential to set it apart from other similar games. The way your character just moves, I don't know why, it gives me Titanfall vibes. I'm not saying this might be as good as Titanfall. Nothing will ever be as good as Titanfall. It just has that vibe, that extra little thing. Next up, Crimson Desert. This answers to your deepest, darkest desires of flying a dragon into a medieval city and just burning it all. Everybody playing any sort of game wanted to do that at some point, and now you can. Crimson Desert releases spring next year, and it's gonna be one of those action-adventure RPGs, so you know what you like. If that's your thing, Crimson Desert is for you. Remember how I promised you at the beginning of the video that we'll have a bonus section for gems that are not really that hidden? Here it is, and let's start with Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Yes, everybody is waiting for this. Everybody plays Call of Duty. I've never actually played one. I've never played the Call of Duty. Is that weird? Should I be sacrificed to the gaming gods right now? I'm not sure. This is Call of Duty Black Ops 7. It has a new setting, and it says its campaign is innovative, so I guess we'll find out. But it releases November 14th, 2025, which is 2 months away. The next one is already out. It released in July, and it's Grounded 2. If you enjoy Grounded 1, you will enjoy Grounded 2. That's pretty much self-explanatory. It's the same thing, but bigger and better. I mean, not actually bigger, it's smaller. You know what I mean. It's like the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids type of game. And you can play it right now, just know it's in early access. This next one feels actually unreal. We've been waiting for it for years. This is Hollow Knight Silksong, and it seemed like it would never release. But now it's just 10 days away. It releases September 4th, but this needs no further explanation. It's Hollow Knight Silksong. Everybody knows what it is. That's why it's in the bonus section. It's out in 10 days, so gather up your money because you're gonna need it. Another one that releases in September, this is Dying Light The Beast. It was supposed to release in August, but it got pushed back by almost a month. I hope that doesn't mean there's a big problem with development. I hope it was just for some little polishing up and things like that. If that's the case, that means it's gonna be a very good game on release. It comes out September 19th, and let's just hope it's at least half as good as the original Dying Light. If that's the case, then this game is definitely worth it. Resident Evil Requiem. Now this one won 4 different awards this year at Gamescom, and I think it deserved them all, to be honest. This releases February 27th, 2026, so we've got half a year to wait until then. But it looks absolutely amazing. I love the Resident Evil series, so bring it on. Now, changing the vibe a little bit, Borderlands releases September 12th. I have no clue what's with everybody, but all the games are releasing in September. I have no clue how you can play all of them. You just need to pick and choose. But Borderlands 4 is definitely a good choice. Also, if you've been living under a rock, Dune Awakening is out right now. It released in June this year, but be careful because recent reviews are mixed. I didn't go through all of them, but all reviews are mostly positive. But read up on it before buying, and you can also play the demo for free right now. And last but not least, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle was also featured on Gamescom. This one released actually last year, but it's so good that it had to be featured again. It's Indiana Jones, just like in the movies, and it's also first person, which I didn't think would actually work, but surprisingly it did, and the lasso physics are actually really good even in first person. So this is another one that's already released and that you can play right now. And those are some hidden gems plus bonuses from Gamescom 2025. Let me know if I missed anything important, and leave a comment below with the game that you're most excited about. Also, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos, and you can watch this one next. I've been Games for Life, and I'll see you next time. Bye!